So for the 3 pumpkins, I'm using this gold. It's almost empty. I love this yarn, Hobby Lobby. It's called Sun Gold. I'm also using, I have it upside down, don't I? I'm also using trying to find a name. Am I like losing it? There's no name on it. Thought I was losing it. It's like almost like an off-white, pretty. And then I have this orange that was in my stash, and it's definitely not Hobby Lobby yarn. It feels totally different, but there's some faded spots in it because the yarn's so old. But are pumpkins perfect orange? No, no, no. They're never perfect one color. Doesn't matter what color, they have some imperfections in it. So I went with this one. Thought it would be perfect to use some of it up. And all my yarn is falling apart. But I am going to show you how to get started on your first panel. And you're going to need 3 of these. All right. You don't have to use colors that I used, obviously. You can use all the same. You can change it up. Some people are doing purples and browns and greens and navies and you name it, they're doing it. And they look cool. They absolutely look cool. So it's totally up to you what you want to do. So I'm going to show you how to do this, start the small pumpkin, but you're going to have to do a medium and a large, 3 pumpkins. All right. So for the small, make sure you leave a long tail, very long. And then you will chain 21. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Okay. Then you're going to go second chain from the hook, flip it over, and in those back humps, I want you to do a half double crochet in each one, going across, and this will land you at 20 stitches because we went second chain from the hook. So you're down a stitch, and that's exactly what we want. We want 20 stitches of half doubles. I think the starting point is the hardest point for people. But if you don't want to do the back humps, it makes the pumpkin look neater at the seam. If you struggle with this, you can go right into the chain regular, okay? I'm showing you the back hump because it does make it neater. All right. Make sure you do every stitch, even the very last one. chain 1, turn your work. Now you're going to just be doing half doubles in the back loop. You have a front loop and you have a back loop. We're just working in the back loops. So you just want to do a half double in each of these back loops. I'll meet you at the end. Okay. When you reach the end, you chain 1 and you turn, and then you continue doing your half doubles in the back loop. By doing the back loop only, you're going to start getting ridges, and that's exactly what we want. Now, I did my small pumpkin in a different color, but these are what the ridges will look like. Okay, so for the small pumpkin, when you starting from the very first row all the way end, you need to do 30 rows. Now, every once in a while, check your counts. Make sure you have 20. All right, 20 stitches, or it's gonna go even it's gonna go wavy, and your pumpkin's not gonna turn out right. And make sure you leave long tails in the beginning and the end. And if you notice, 30 rows where your starting point is, to your ending point, you're ending on the same side. So that'll be a clue for you too. So for the small pumpkin, you're going to chain 21, and then you're going to half double second chain from the hook, and you're going to do half doubles all the way down. Then you're going to chain 1, and you're going to do half doubles in the back loop only, and you need 30 rows for the small. Okay, now when you get to the medium pumpkin, the medium one, I chose to be this off-white. That's what I chose. To start this one, you need to chain 31, and then you half double crochet, second chain from the hook, and when you go over, you'll end up with 30 stitches. And you continue to do it the same way as the small pumpkin, half double crochets in the back loops only. But this one you need to do for 42 rows. And again, your starting point and your ending point will end on the same side. So then again, that is a clue that you're doing it right. And then for the large pumpkin, this one will take you the longest, but it's easy to do. This one you will need to chain 41. Then you half double crochet in the second chain from the hook, and you go across. That'll land you at 40 stitches. And you need to do this one for 54 rows. And this is your large. And again, this one starts and ends. Well, actually, you know what? This one ended. I think I must have added a row by accident. That's okay. Not the end. But they should end on the same sides. If they don't, I'll show you how to fix that problem. It's really not a problem. So anyway, this is where you get started with your 3 pumpkins. And then we're going to move on to the next stage. Okay. So I'm going to show you how to assemble. I'm going to do the small pumpkin. Try to zoom you out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing a little better. And let me make a correction. When you're done your rows, your beginning and your ending should be on opposite corners. Okay, that is needed. So that is an error that I made a little earlier in this video. So I wanted to correct that as soon as I can. So I'm going to show you how to do the assembly, that put this pumpkin together. It will be same for this. This is the small. It's going to be the same for the medium and for the large pumpkin. Okay, so I want you to grab a darning needle, and it doesn't matter which end you want to start with. All right, so I'm going to thread my hook, my needle, sorry, not hook, and going on the side that I threaded from, okay? You're gonna go under. In the beginning, you want to go under that chain. Now, going across the chain, you're gonna see little vertical loops. That's what I go in instead of weaving. It brings the pumpkin so much nicer together. So I'm just going under. See those vertical? It's like on every other row. You're gonna see it. And just take your time. You don't want to rush on this part. And another one. Right there. There. My hands are a little slippery because I just put on my face cream, so sorry about that. So just going under these loops. And make sure you get the last one because that's important. And then what I do is I weave it into the two chains just to secure it a little more. And then this will automatically pucker together. And you want to pull it to make sure this section where it's joining, coming together, make sure that's as closed as you can get it. And then you find your first chains. And then from top down, go under both chains of both of them. And pull it. See how close it's getting? Now I'm going to go in the next ones. That should secure it pretty good. And then all I want you to do is whip stitch down. Now whip stitching. You go to start at the top always, and you go through both chains of each stitch on both sides. When you stitch it this way, it is extremely hard to find where you joined it. It looks really good, but it is absolutely your discretion on how you want to join these. This is what I like. This is what works for me. And if you have a nicer join than the one I'm showing you, please comment below. I'm always open to hearing about another join. All right, let me finish just going up here. Okay. When you're getting to the top, make sure your stitches are even. If they're off, you can fix that very easily. And then make sure you join, go through the first one. Okay. All right. Now, you will have your two ends together like this. I want you to place a secure knot right there. I'm not a fan of knotting and crocheting, but sometimes it's just needed for a project to hold. Okay, just like that. Now, pick your longest strand. And we're gonna do the same thing to the top. But before you cinch it closed, we need to stuff it. So let's go around. And I'm gathering those vertical loops. Okay. Gathering it by these loops really makes a lot of difference than weaving back and forth. And it makes it more uniform. And bring it up to the end. Okay. Now it's time to stuff your pumpkin. If you're part of our face group for the crochet whip and chain, you'll notice that I just put a post up. Buying these bags of polyfill is like $20-some. You can honestly buy a $5 or $6 pillow at Walmart, maybe Target too, and you can use the stuffing in there. It's a good way to get more bang for your buck. Just a thought. All right, I don't suggest overstuffing these, but stuff them till you're content. Yeah, no more than that. Because it's stacking, so you want them a little flatter. Not flat, but flatter. Now, pull your pumpkin tight. Let me see if I can bring it up a little bit so you're not like right on top of it and looking. Sorry, I'm still in my jammies if you see a little bit down there. There we go. That's better. Now, see that hole? That's good. Make a little knot to secure it. You don't want that hole completely closed. And then leave it straight. And what I do, I cut this way shorter than I wanted. I thread both these ends. I don't even know if I can thread this one. It's so short. I know what I can do. I did a video on these. I am totally hooked on these because they make very short ends so much more manageable. These. So you open it, you thread your yarn, and then go in the hole and just go down and come out a side. And what that'll do, that tucks your end in there and it's lost. All right, before we do any more with this, we have to do the edging on it, but I'm going to show you how to do a quick stem. Okay, so I'm using green. You can use brown, you can use white, whatever color really works with you. Okay, I'm making a magic circle. You can do it with a chain, but it's very hard. You would chain 3, slip stitch to the first chain, and then chain 1. Okay, but I do recommend the magic circle if you're able to. All right, now in this circle I want you to put in, if I can, didn't even grab yarn that time, 6 single crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now pull it close, but not completely, because it's going to be hard to manage if you do. So 3, 4, 5. So now we're not slip stitching, we're just doing rounds. I want you to just keep going round and round until you got a length of a stem that you like. So because I didn't pull that completely shut, I'm able to see where my stitches are better, because it's tough. So just single crochet. I'm going to flip mine around. Where's that tail? Get that tail out of there. Okay. So you just keep single crocheting in each stitch till you're happy with the length of your stem. It is very hard to see, and I'm using a very dark green, and maybe that was a very tough choice on me, but I love this color green for stems, so I'm going to try to make it work. Once you get a couple rows in, it gets definitely easier. Then you just keep going. And when you do get the length that you want, I need to turn this back right side out because I flipped it to be able to see my stitches better. So when you're happy with your length, I would suggest flipping it now before it's harder, and it already is. Can I get it? I think it's time for me to start getting my glasses on. There. Okay. And then that automatically pulled my stem tight. All right, when you got the length of the stem you want, I want you to chain 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17. And then the second stitch from the hook, I want you to put in 2 single crochets in each stitch. Just working your way all the way up to the top, and I'll see you up there. Okay, when you go all the way up the chain, I want you to go in your next single crochet up here on the stem, and I want you to slip stitch. Now, you're welcome to make more than one little curly coming off if you like. Okay, I'm gonna slip stitch, I'm gonna cut, and I want to leave some tails. Now for the stem, I need this tail actually in through the center of it, so and just push it through. There you go. All right, got your pumpkin. Now I want you to weave in tuck in your ends, not weave. Tuck them in somewhere. And pull and cut. Okay. So now when we're putting indentations in, we're going to sew that in with us. So I used gold. I personally use the same color that the pumpkin was made in. Some people like using different colors I've seen, and that's really okay. It's just, again, it's a preference. Whatever you like is completely good. Okay. So get a long string, but don't make it ridiculously long. I learned that the hard way too. I thought, let me make sure I have enough, and it was hard. So I got my darning needle. You ever have those days where everything seems to be a challenge? I think today is going to be one of those days for me. All right. And I had such high hopes to get a couple extra videos done today. All right. So now we're going to go up through the middle bottom, right in that little hole. And you come out on one of the sides. Pick what side you want to come out. But when you're coming out, grab a little bit of that stem. Just like that, and then pull, but leave a tail. Don't pull it all the way through. then we're going to bring it up again through the center. And now we're going to come up on the other side of the stem. All right. Now, make sure you have this lined up where you want it on the pumpkin. And then, nope, I don't like it there. Okay. Once you're happy with how tight you want it, then on the opposite side, you go down, and this is where you grab your tail and keep the knot in the center and pull it until you got the indentation that you want. And then make a knot. All right. See how easy that was? Now we're going to go up again through the center. And come out the side, because we're going to do another indentation. But this indentation is like a third. We're going to do one more on this side next round. So you come around and you come up. On the opposite side, which would be over here. And if you want to grab a little more of that stem to make sure you got it under control, that's absolutely fine. So now, look, I'm pulling it, getting my indentation where I want it. Then I come around to this side, and then I make another knot with my tail. And again, keeping the knot in the center. One more time. Come on up. And I can grab a little bit of that stem. And then, see my last chunk on here? Right there. Come around, go up through the center, and come up on the side that you need. And then just boop, pull, pull. Okay. Then you come around on your last juncture, and then you're gonna knot again. And secure it with a knot. This one I kind of knot a couple times. And then cut. I always put my needle away because I'm always afraid of one of my animals getting them. And then this, we're going to hide these tails. That was my finger. All right, so look at this. Here's your stem. There's your curly. Adorable. Adorable. Now, a little trick I do. I don't usually do it to the top one, but I stick cinnamon sticks down in the center. I don't put them too far because I want to be able to get them out. But, so then, see the stacking? They're beautiful. So the next step that I do, now this is completely optional. I buy some fall floral things at Hobby Lobby. Just different things. And what I do is I cut leaves off, and then I hot glue them on, but I do not hot glue the pumpkins together. And the main reason for this is storage. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna use that one. That one looks like it has a broken something. But you are more than welcome to hot glue them together. But if you hot glue them together, I don't recommend the cinnamon sticks. Cinnamon sticks, one cinnamon stick for the bottom two, it gives it just a perfect, cute little, nice fall smell. And my one bunch has a sunflower in it, so obviously I'm gonna put that sunflower somewhere. And then look at all my dog hair. You know, I'm gonna decorate it and hot glue it. But that is how you do this pumpkin stackable centerpiece. It's beautiful, and I cannot wait. Absolutely cannot wait to see yours. Until our next video, happy crocheting. Enjoy the fall season, everybody.